Good evening, everyone. I'm indeed happy and glad to be here with you tonight. I want to thank the Southern Regional Convention for extending the invitation for me to come, and I accepted their invitation, and I'm very glad that I did. I also want to thank them for their choosing a very beautiful site and the things that they have done to us and for us. I appreciate everything that has been done. I hold this teaching very, very dear to my heart. The things that I hope to convey to you are things that the founder of this school taught me. As one that set at his foot, I appreciate that honor. And I'm going to ask that you bear with me for a few minutes. I want to try to cover some things that I have great concern about. The founder of this school claimed he had a divine vision and revelation. And he proved that to me. I stand here as a witness that that was proven, that he had to have a vision and a revelation. And then he came down and he illustrated on these charts what he saw in the vision. Somebody, I know one time we had a gentleman in our class that wanted to have the same vision Dr. Kinley had. He already showed the vision. He put it out here on the charts. Now, when I came into school, I didn't know anything about the Bible. I said that from the standpoint that I didn't go to school much and go to church that much in the sense of studying and being a teacher there. But now what I want you to do with it is now, he came down and he told us some things that we had to definitely go by. Let me have Isaiah 8 and 20.
To the law and to the testimony.
Now he said, now to the law and to the testimony. Now he said, now Dr. Kennedy said, now this is not him saying it, this is not Isaiah saying it. He said it is Yahweh saying, to the law and to the testimony. Read.
If they speak not according to this word.
If they speak not according to this word.
It is because there is no light in them.
It is because there's no light in them. Then he took us over to John 5 and 39.
Ye search the scriptures.
Then he said the Messiah was challenged by the people of that day, the rulers of that day, why he was doing the things he was doing. And this is what he told them. Ye search the scriptures. Read.
For in them ye think ye have eternal life.
For in them ye think you have eternal life. Read.
And they are they which testify of me.
And they are they which testify of me. Now he was saying that the scriptures testify of him. Then he went on over to Luke. When he raised from the dead, he appeared to his disciples and he told them the same thing. Let me have Luke 24, 25.
Then he said unto them,
O fools and slow of heart,
to believe all that the prophets have spoken.
To believe all that the prophets have spoken.
Ought not the Messiah to have suffered these things?
Ought not the Messiah to have suffered?
And to enter into his glory?
And to enter into his glory.
And beginning at Moses.
Now he began with Moses.
And all the prophets.
And all the prophets.
He expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself.
The things concerning himself. Now he's showing that the scriptures are what testified of him. And the founder went about it and he said, now if I don't come, I didn't come to disagree with what Moses wrote. I didn't come to disagree with what the prophets wrote, or what the apostles wrote, or what the Messiah come to do. He said, I came to prove and put them all together that you might know that what Yahweh had written in these scriptures is true. He said, now look, let me have John 5 and 45.
Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father.
Now he said, do not think that I will accuse you to the Father.
There is one that accuseth
Now
you.
he's talking to the Jews there. He said, do not think that I accuse you to the Father. There is one that accused you. Read.
Even Moses in whom ye trust.
Even Moses in whom you trust. Now Messiah is talking about Moses. He's the one that's going to accuse them. Read.
For had ye believed Moses,
For had you believed Moses,
ye would have believed me.
then you would have believed me.
For he wrote of me.
Because Moses wrote of him. Now that would mean that if I go over in the writings of Moses, which is the first 5 books of the Bible, I should find something in there that's writing about the Messiah. If you had the King James Version of the Bible, they were saying in the King James Version his name is Jesus. You go over in the Matthew, over in Genesis through Deuteronomy, you won't find Jesus there. But you do find that this man Moses wrote about one Joshua. Dr. Kennedy came to us and showed us that this Joshua that came through the loins of the Virgin Mary, he was back here with Moses. And now that's why he said, Moses wrote of me. Let me have it. Exodus 17 and 9.
And Moses said unto Joshua.
Moses said unto Joshua. This is the first time you find Moses writing about Joshua. Now Joshua, we come to find out that this Joshua that's back here, that there's songs written about him. This man Joshua is back here. Yahweh had taken Moses. Read what you got there first before I go on.
And Moses said unto Joshua.
And Moses said unto Joshua,
choose us out men.
Choose us out man.
And go out.
And go out.
Fight with Amalek.
And fight with Amalek. So he has taken Joshua is going out to fight with Amalek. He's being a warrior. Chooses out men and go and fight. And I thought about the Messiah when he coming through the loins of the Virgin Mary. He chose out his disciples and sent them out to preach the gospel. So he chose them out to go out and fight. Now here you have Moses back here. He chose Joshua to go out and fight for him.
Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of Elohim.
I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of Elohim.
In mine hand.
In my hand.
So Joshua did as Moses had said to him.
Joshua did as Moses had said unto him.
And fought with Amalek.
And he fought with Amalek.
And Moses, Aaron, and Hur.
Moses, Aaron, and Hur.
Went up to the top of the hill.
Went up to the top of the hill.
And it came to pass.
It came to pass.
When Moses held up his hand.
When Moses held up his hand.
That Israel prevailed.
Israel prevailed.
And when he let down his hand.
When Moses' hands got tired.
Amalek prevailed.
Then Amalek prevailed.
But Moses' hands were heavy.
His hands got heavy.
And they took a stone and put it under him.
Took a stone and put it under him.
And he sat thereon.
He sat down thereon.
And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands.
Aaron was on one side and Hur was on the other side. He stayed up his hand. Now you look back here and you see in the pattern you got these 2 cherubims of glory sitting on these sides, and Joshua was sitting on the mercy seat. So he's setting the same thing back up. Now while that was done, Joshua was out there conquering the Amaleks. Read.
The one on the one side.
The one on the one side.
And the other on the other side.
The other one on the other side. Read.
And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
Read.
And Joshua discomfited Amalek.
Now Joshua discomfited Amalek.
And his people with the edge of the sword.
With the edge of a sword.
And
that means he was fighting on Israel's behalf. Now if you go, read on. I got to get some. I want to get another point down there before I go on. Read on.
And Yahweh said unto Moses.
Yahweh said unto Moses.
Write this for a memorial in a book.
Now he said, write this. Now remember, the Messiah said that Moses wrote about me. Now Moses is writing the law. And he said Moses is writing about me. So here he is telling Moses to write this in a book.
And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. Now there's no J in the Hebrew alphabet, so his name was Joshua. So they've shown that Joshua was back here with Moses, and Moses was writing about it. Now when the Messiah comes to the loins of the Virgin Mary, he said, I'm coming to fulfill what's in the law and in the prophets. Now if this is Moses writing about him back here in the wilderness, and that's Joshua back here, or Joshua back here delivering the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, going through the divided waters of the Red Sea into the wilderness, and then on through the river Jordan on into Canaan land, then there's got to be some way to verify that in the prophets. It's no good just speaking about Moses wrote about it. It's got to be confirmed by the prophets. Well, what prophet wrote about it? What prophet confirmed it? That Joshua was back here with Moses. How you prove that? Give me Isaiah 63:1.
Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Now repeat that again, please. Now note what you have there. Read that first part again. Who is this that come from Edom?
Who is this that cometh from Edom?
From Edom.
With dyed garments from Bozrah.
With dyed garments from Bozrah. What do you have after that?
This that is glorious.
What is the mark you have after that?
Question mark.
You got a question mark. He says, who is this? Who's he talking about? I've heard a lot of things being said. He's not talking about Adam. He's not talking about Elohim. He is talking about Elohim manifested in a body. Joshua. Who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, traveling in the greatness of his strength? Question mark. Read.
This that is glorious in his apparel.
This that is glorious in his apparel, what he's wearing. Read.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength. Read.
I that speak
Now
in
there was a
righteousness.
question there. There was a question right there too. See? Then the answer came back, I that speaketh in righteousness, mighty to save. Now what do you mean by that? How are you seeing that? What is Isaiah looking at? He's looking back and seeing this Joshua coming up about the land of Egypt, through the divided waters of the Red Sea. He's fighting for Israel in Egypt. He's fighting for them in the waters. He's taking them on across the river Jordan on into Canaan land. That's him walking down through there. That's him delivering them out of there. He's fighting with. Somebody said, wait a minute. Let's check this out a little closer. It says, who is this that comes from Edom? Adam was not in Edom. So he's not talking about Adam. Who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Now if you take a time and get in your map, look in the back of your Bibles that have maps in it, you'll find that there, you find that when the children of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt, they had to come up through the wilderness, and they had to go around Edom. Edom is a country. Bozrah is the capital of the country. And they had to go up there and go through that land to go. But when it came to Edom, the Edomites would not let them go through. Let me have, let's find out who's Edom. Let's find out who Edom is first. See, give me Genesis 25:25. You find where Jacob and Esau were born in the 25th chapter. I've got to move because my time is running to get way on me.
And the first came out red, all over with a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
They called his name Esau.
And after that came his brother out.
Then after Esau came forth his brother.
And his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
Uh-huh.
And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob.
And Isaac was 80 old when she bare them.
When she bare them.
And the boys grew.
And the boys grew. Okay.
And
Now
Esau,
here we got two sons born, twins, Esau and Jacob. Esau came out red and hairy. Jacob came out with smooth skin. But I skip down to I don't have time to read up there, but skip down to the 30th verse.
30th verse. And Esau said to Jacob,
Esau said to Jacob,
let me swallow down, I pray thee,
let me swallow down, I pray thee,
some of that same red pottage,
some of that same red pottage,
for I am faint.
for I am faint. He's come out of the fields, he's hungry, he says, give me some of that porridge, for I'm faint. Read.
Therefore his name was called Edom.
Therefore his name was called Edom. So Esau's name was called Edom. They became to be known as the Edomites. The Edom, that was a country that just south of the Dead Sea. The River Jordan came down. Now the River Jordan we got illustrated on this chart this way. It actually runs north and south. When you look on a map, it's running north and south. They had to come up through the Edomites. The capital is Bozrah, see? And he's got to come by them. Now when Moses went to go into there, he asked about going in there. Give me Numbers 20 and 20, Numbers 20 and 20.
20 and 14.
Okay, 24,
And
that's right,
Moses
20 and 14,
sent
right.
messengers from Kadesh unto the king of
Now,
Edom.
wait a minute, who says now? Who sent what?
And Moses
Moses
sent messengers
sent messengers
from Kadesh unto the king of Edom.
unto the king of Edom.
Thus saith thy brother Israel,
Thus said our brother Israel, which is Jacob, read,
thou knowest all the travail that hath befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt.
Now he's asking to go through his brother's country, Edom, who is Esau. Read, he's asking the question to go through him, to go through his country. He said, I won't touch you, I won't touch your land, I'm just going to go straight through your land, don't want to touch. Read it down real quick so we can get an understanding of what's going on.
How our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time.
We had dwelt in Egypt a long time. Read.
And the Egyptians vexed us and
And
our
the Egyptians
fathers.
have vexed us.
And when we cried unto Yahweh,
When
he
we
heard our
cried
voice.
in Egypt, when we cried unto Yahweh,
He heard our voice
he heard our voice
and sent an angel.
and sent an angel. That angel I want you to show is that Joshua or Joshua back here with Egypt. Read.
And hath brought us forth out of Egypt.
And had brought us forth out of Egypt. Read.
And behold, we are in Kadesh,
And behold, we are in Kadesh, as a town right outside the borders of Edom. Read.
a city in the uttermost of thy borders. Let us pass, I pray thee, through thy country.
Let us pass through thy country. Read.
We will not pass through the fields,
I will
or
not
through
pass
the
through the
vineyards,
fields, through the vineyards.
neither will we drink of the water of the wells.
Neither will we drink of the
will
water
go
of the
by the
wells.
king's highway. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left
Right,
until
read.
we have passed by thy borders. And Edom said unto him,
Edom said unto him,
thou shalt not pass by me,
thou shalt not pass by them.
lest I come
Now,
out.
who was with Moses? Huh? I asked the question, who was with Moses? Joshua was back there with Moses. Now, the Edomites were not letting Israel, his own brother's offspring, come through that land. So they had to go around the Edomites and come up, and they fought with the Amorites and the Moabites when they went up there into Canaan land. Now, I'm telling you about, he's fighting all that way. He overthrew the Amorites and the Moab. And then he went on over to the river Jordan, on over into Canaan land, and he's fought with them for 40 years over the land of Canaan land. Now he's fighting all that way. Excuse me. Joshua, 12th chapter. See, now what I'm trying to show you is this Joshua back here with Moses, Isaiah the prophet, he's prophesied looking back at this and seeing them come up through here. And they had to fight all their way through this land, and Joshua was fighting for them. If you go back again, Exodus 14, 13 and 14, you'll find, give me Exodus 13, 14. So you see what Moses says down here with Israel.
And it shall be when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what is this? That thou shalt say unto him.
Where you at?
Exodus 13 and 14.
No, 14, please. 14, 13. I had to reverse.
14, 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not.
Fear ye not.
Stand still.
Stand still.
And see the salvation of Yahweh.
See the salvation of Yahweh.
Which he will show to you today.
He will show to you today.
For the Egyptians whom ye have seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever.
Right.
Yahweh shall fight for you.
Yahweh shall fight for you. And I'm trying to show you that this Yahweh was in this man Joshua back here. He's fighting their battles. He's the one that delivered them out of the land of Egypt. He's the one that went on into the war. He's the one that fought the Amaleks back here. He's the one that went on around and fought all their battles. And then he gave the land to the Israelites. He's fighting their battles right back here. Now he said, this is Isaiah. He's the one prophet. I'm still Isaiah 8 and 2, Isaiah 56 and Isaiah 63. Isaiah, the prophet, is a pre-exilic prophet. That means he was not a prophet that was taken into captive. He was before they were taken into Babylon. So he was not talking about being delivered from the Babylonians. He was talking about them, he's looking back to see them being delivered out of the land of Egypt. So he's trying to show you he's coming on up out this way. Now this Joshua is the one fighting their battles. Now he fought over here on this side of the River Jordan. He killed 2 kings over here. Then he went on through the River Jordan and went on into Canaan land, and you find he killed 31 kings. Give me Joshua, the 12th chapter. Give me about the 6th verse, and then I'm going to skip down to the last verse. Joshua.
Then did Moses the servant of Yahweh and the children of Israel smite. And Moses the servant of Yahweh gave it for a possession unto the Reubenites and the Gadites.
Now see, they gave the land that they had conquered on this side of the River Jordan to the repeat again. Repeat
for
again.
A possession unto the Reubenites
unto
and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh.
Reubenites and Manasseh and a half tribe of Manasseh.
And these are the kings of the country which Joshua and the children of Israel smote on this site, Jordan on the west.
On this side of Jordan on the west. Then they had to go across the River Jordan, go on the other side, and he had to smite the kings on this side. See? Now in that chapter, you'll find that there was 5 kings he went up against right there. I don't have time to read it all down. See? He's fighting those kings over there. Pardon me, it's in the 10th chapter, pardon me. He fought those 5 kings. But now, give me the last verse of the 12th chapter.
The king of Tisra won.
The king of Tisra. Now, if you read that whole chapter down, you'll find that all the kings that they smote in the land of Canaan land. So if you're reading the last of them, now read.
All the kings 30 and 1.
All the kings 31. So you got 2 on this side and 31 on the other side. That makes a total of 33. 33 kings he slayed. See? Now here's Isaiah looking back at it. And he's coming back talking about who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah. Now here he's coming up through this land. Now let's verify, make sure we understand we got who we're talking about. Isaiah 34 and 5.
For my sword shall be bathed.
Now here he says, this is Yahweh speaking to the prophet Isaiah, and Yahweh is causing Isaiah to look back and seeing this here fight, this battle goes on in Bozrah. So my sword is bathed in heaven, read.
Behold, it shall come down upon Edom.
Behold, it shall come down on the Edom.
And upon the people.
Now Edom is another word for Edom. If you check in the margin of translation, you have a good Bible tell you that Edom is Edom. So he's talking about the same people. Read.
And upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Until my curse to judgment. Read.
The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood.
The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. So now the blood that you got And his garments being stained was stained from the blood of the mighty ones he killed in these wars he had. So he's slaying up all these kings, and he's got blood on his garments. That's why Isaiah said, behold, see, who is this that come from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? See, marvelous in his apparel. See, and with his own arm he brought salvation down. With his own arm he brought salvation. Now it was Joshua by himself. He brought salvation down. Now watch how he's going to do it. See, read.
The sword of Yahweh is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath the sacrifice in Bozrah.
For Yahweh had a great sacrifice in Bozrah. So him showing he went through there and he killed the people up in Bozrah to come up through the land of wilderness. See, on into Canaan and slayed all these kings. Now this Joshua, coming all the way up through, you find he was 30 years old down here, 40 years in the wilderness, that's 70. See, another 40 years in conquering the land of Canaan, that's 110. Now he went through and fought all those kings, didn't get a scratch, then laid down and died. Now here comes the Messiah. See, because this was him back down here, he's coming in to fulfill. And he had to say, now why did all that happen? Because he's got to come in to fulfill. And give me John 15 and 17.
These things have I commanded you, that you love one
No,
another.
it's up a little higher. I want probably John 10. And pick it up at the 13th verse, pardon me.
The hireling fleeth, because he is a hireling, and careth not for the sheep.
Read.
I am the good shepherd.
I am the good shepherd.
And know my sheep.
I know my sheep.
And am known of mine.
And I know of them. Read.
As the Father knoweth me.
As the Father knoweth me.
Even so know I the Father.
Even so know I the Father. Read.
And I lay down my life for
now
the
here's
sheep.
the Messiah said, I lay down my life for the sheep. Read.
And other sheep I have.
Other sheep I have, referring to the Gentiles. Read.
Which are not of this fold.
Which is not of this fold.
Them also I must bring.
Them also I must bring. Read.
And they shall hear my voice.
They shall hear my voice.
And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore doth my Father love me.
Therefore does my Father love me.
Because I lay down my life.
Because I lay down my life.
That I might take it again.
That I might take it again. Now no man took his life. He laid it down. And he was able to take it up again. When they come down to ask for the body of the Messiah, Herod was surprised that the Messiah was already dead. And they went out and pushed him in the side. But he had already given up the ghost. So now what I'm trying to show you, no man took his life. See, but he laid it down on his own. And Yahweh was able to take him up. That's why Joshua back here in the type prefiguring the Messiah, he had to go through and fight all these battles. Now it doesn't stop there. See, give me Revelations, 19th chapter. Pick it up at the, John on the Isle of Patmos. He's looking back at it. Oh boy, that's a whole lot in that thing. See, when you read over there in the 5th chapter of John, Revelation, John, he said he saw a man sitting on the throne, and he had a book in his hand, and the book was sealed with 7 seals. And then he saw that these books was sealed with 7 seals. And he said he searched heaven and looked in the earth and didn't find nobody worthy to open the book and to loose the seals. See, and then he said he heard one of the elders say, behold the Lamb of the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Lamb that will open the book and loose the seals. Now he opened that book, and who's that? This is Yahshua Messiah. He was the Lamb. Open that book up. What did he do? He come down and fulfill what was in the law and in the prophets. That was the book that was sealed. And when he fulfilled the law and the prophets, he was the one to open that up. Now the book is open up. And then you come on down, and you find over there in the 10th chapter, you find that book was open up. Now he had a little book. And a man standing up there, he had his foot on the land and his other foot on the sea. He's got this little book. He said, John, an angel told him, go and take the book and eat it. He said, take the book and eat it. It'll be sweet in thy mouth and bitter in thy stomach. And that was Yahweh showing him that he's got to go and preach the gospel on over on land and on sea. He got to go and preach on all ports. That's him opening that book, bringing that book all the way down, showing that this Joshua Messiah is coming in. He's fulfilling what's in the law and he's fulfilling what's in the prophet. But this Joshua, here he is. He's looking back and he's seeing these here coming on up out of here. He got these here crowns. Now watch him back over in Revelation. Pick it up there in the 19th chapter.
13th verse. And he was clothed with a vesture.
He was clothed with a vesture.
Dipped in blood.
Dipped in blood. And I'm talking about this one fighting back here. Blood all over his clothes from slaying all the wars he had back there. Dipped in blood. Read.
And his name is called the Word of Yahweh.
His name is called the Word of Yahweh. The Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yahweh. And here was the Word manifested in that body. And Joshua was Yahweh in a body back there with Moses, instructing Moses what to do and how to do it. And then when he comes to the loins of the Virgin Mary, he's down here fulfilling what he told him to do back there. See, read.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
They followed him upon white horses.
Clothed in fine linen.
Clothed in fine linen.
White and clean.
White and clean.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword.
Look, it says out of his mouth went a sharp two-edged sword. He didn't have a sword in his hand, but he had one in his mouth that went, see, cutting back and forth. And when you come preaching this gospel, it's hard for a man to accept this gospel because it's going to cut things that he thought he had to keep. He thought he had to keep water baptism and Lord's Supper and foot washing, keep the Ten Commandments law. But see, you had to come down here and see the Messiah came in to fulfill that. That was the report. Oh boy, the Isaiah, he also said, Isaiah 53:1. See, who's going to believe our report? Who's going to believe the report? Here's Yahweh sending his son down in the world. See, he's coming to deliver. He's saving Israel, delivering them out of the land of Egypt, bring them through the mighty waters of the Red Sea, bring them on through the wilderness. See, it's him fighting their battles. See, now read on there. I want to finish up in Revelation there.
And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations.
You know what? What verse you have you start with? 13 or?
Yes.
I had you start with 13. Go back up to the 12th verse. That's what I need. I missed it.
12th verse.
Uh-huh.
And his eyes were a flame of fire.
Oh, his eyes was a flame of fire.
And on his head were many crowns.
And on his head, that's what I wanted to get. On his head was many crowns. See how he picked up all those crowns back here? He picked up all and stayed all those kings. Every time he overslayed a king, he got a crown. He got his crown. He's got all these crowns on his head. 30 king crowns on his head. See why? Because he's a king of kings. So if he's king of kings, he's coming on down. And he sees he's coming on down through the law and the prophets to show that he was the one that set it up back here. He's the one that come down here. No man taketh my life, but I lay it down on my own, and I would take it up. So here he is. He went on the cross. He gave up the ghost. They took his body off the cross, put it in Joseph too. But that spirit that was in him, it went and preached to the captive, which was in distress. And it went on back and picked up Adam back here. Oh, let me say something else too. I want to say something because some people, they heard tapes of Dr. Kinley, and I've heard the tapes too. But I went and listened to them one more time because I want to make sure I got it right. And this is what I want you to see. See, it said, go back to Isaiah. I want to get the actual quote. Isaiah, the 63rd chapter.
Who is this that cometh from Edom? With dyed garments from Bozrah.
With dyed garments from Bozrah. Read.
This that is glorious in his apparel.
This that is glorious in his apparel.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
I that speak in righteousness.
I that speaketh in righteousness.
Mighty to save.
Mighty to save. Stop right there and give me Isaiah 59:16, please. See, you're talking about coming in his strength. Mighty to save. Read.
And he saw that there was no man.
He saw that there was no man.
And wondered that there was no intercessor.
There was no intercessor. Read.
Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him.
Therefore his own arm brought salvation up. See, it was by himself, I'm trying to show you. He was by himself that brought him on up there. He fought their battles. And as Joshua was fighting your battles down here now, you're not fighting them. See, you're not even a good soldier to go try to fight with Satan. It has to be Joshua. He's got to slay that satanic spirit. Joshua is the one. Now, go back over in the 63rd chapter. So I'm trying to show you that this one back here was this Joshua coming up out of the land of Egypt. And this Joshua, he fought their battles all the way through. There's other scriptures I need to read, but I don't have time to read them all. See, but going back here.
Second verse. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone.
I have trodden the winepress alone. Read.
And of the people there was none.
There was none.
For I will tread them in mine anger.
I'm going to tread them in my anger. I'm talking about the enemy. He's treading against them. Look, Bozrah would not let them go through. He was angry with them. So when he ran, he's going to pour out his wrath upon them. So read.
And trample them in my fury.
Trample them in my fury. So the blood on his garments is from the blood that he fought in them battles that he fought. Read.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments.
Their blood is going to be sprinkled upon my garments. Read.
And I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart. And the year of my redeemed is come.
Read.
And I looked, and there was none.
And there was none
to help. And I wondered.
And then Dr. King would say, when he said, I looked and there was none there. Just like there was Adam back there was none to help him bring it down. There was none to help Joshua bring it back up. He said, well, Adam brought it down by himself. Messiah had to come, and he by his own self brought salvation up. So one man brought it down, another one give me Paul's writing to the Romans in the 5th chapter of Romans. See, by one man. Look, folks, I'll tell you something about this. I love this teaching. I like it. I like to see the law and the prophets put together so you can see what's going on. See? Now, Dr. Kenny put this on the chart. See? This man back here in the garden. Romans 5:12.
Wherefore, as by one man, sin entered into the world.
Now, Paul's writing this. Dr. Kenny's put it on the chart. He said, wherefore by one man sin entered the world. See? But not by Eve. It was by Adam. See, he said, wait a minute, wait a minute. See? Oh, there's a lot of things I need to talk about. See? Adam and Eve in the garden, when they were brought forth, they were in an innocent state. They were not. Neither one was negative or positive. They were both innocent before Yahweh. You look there in the 2nd chapter in the last verse. Said that they were naked and they were not ashamed. That was the state they were in back then. They were naked and not ashamed. So I'm trying to show you they were in an innocent state back here. And then Satan came to Eve and deceived Eve and caused her to transgress the law. See? And then she brought it to her husband, and he did eat. Therefore, causing him to transgress the law. Yes, he transgressed the law. He was the one that brought mankind, because it was the one that Yahweh gave the commandment to. But not. That's why Dr. King said that by his own, Adam brought it down by himself. He was the one. Let me say it this way. See, Adam, knowing what Yahweh had said, don't touch the fruit of that tree. When his wife came to him, see, he knowing what Yahweh said, he willingly partook of the fruit and ate the fruit. See, and now somebody said, wait a minute, I don't believe it. Here's Dr. Kenny referring to it another time. And he said it this way. You have the religious world out there today trying to build a church on Peter. Peter was a confessed sinner. 5th chapter of Luke in the 8th verse. See, he was a confessed sinner. See, Dr. King said, now if you're going to build a church on Peter, you might as well go and build it on Adam. Adam was a confessed sinner. See, somebody said, no, wait a minute, no, wait. Give me Genesis 3:12. I'm going to stay in the book.
And the man
And look, folks,
said,
I want to say something about this. When Israel did not have a book, did not have the Bible or the writings of Moses and the prophets, they did all kinds of wrong things. But when they found the book and found that they were wrong, they had to go to the book to get straightened out. See? And that's what I like about going to the book. to get straightened out. See, here we are, read.
And the man said,
And the man said,
the
the one that Yahweh said, don't touch. The day you touch, you shall surely die. Now Yahweh is coming to the man, and he's asking the man, what have you done? This is his answer.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to me with me,
the woman that you gave us with me,
she gave me of the tree,
and
I did eat.
Now when he said, and I did eat. Now the commandment was to him. We didn't say it to her, it said to him. She was in him, yes. But when he partook of that fruit of the tree, he died. And Dr. Kennedy referred it another way. He said over there in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, Apostle Paul saying that in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed. What was Paul looking at? He looking back there in the garden and seeing that man in that innocent state, when he took the fruit of the tree, instantaneously he changed and went from an innocent state to condemnation. Yes, he died in his conscience. And that death went upon all men, and it came on down. Man's conscience was plaguing him all the way down. See, and Apostle Paul, he's looking at the same thing coming down, talking about his end. When I would do good, evil was present. And when I would not do good, see, everything he tried to do right, he found himself doing wrong. I'm trying to show the state that he was in. Then what happens? See, oh, wretched man that I am, who should deliver me from this bondage of sin? And then he read over in the 8th chapter, verse 1, Romans 8:1. He says, see, read.
There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahshua the Messiah.
Now after the Messiah died, he paid the price to redeem this man back here. Also now he's got everybody all the way down. His blood atoned from Adam all the way down, even down to this world. Now what we're doing, we're preaching the gospel that a man might believe in him. Nobody else but Yahshua the Messiah. The salvation is not in nobody but Yahshua the Messiah. See? Dr. Kennedy said, I'm not your Savior. I didn't save you. I said, I didn't shed the blood for you. See, so he said, Yahshua was the only one to save the blood. And that made a difference. He made a difference between Yahweh. See? So Yahweh didn't die for you. Elohim didn't die for you. Yahshua was a container for blood. That was the one that Yahweh accepted the blood from. So he had to die, take away all mankind's sin. So you got to believe in Yahshua Messiah. Now, here he is. See, when Paul said, see, after he seen his condition that he was in, and Yahweh had delivered. So there's 8th chapter, verse 1.
There's therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahshua the Messiah.
Now you're gone, the law's been fulfilled, the Messiah's come in and fulfilled it. Now there's therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Yahshua Messiah, who walk not after the flesh. See, I'm talking about the things back under the old covenant. Read.
But after the Spirit.
But after the Spirit.
For the law of the Spirit of life in Yahshua the Messiah.
For the law of the Spirit of life, which is in Yahshua the Messiah,
hath made me free.
It's made me free.
From the law of sin and death.
From the law of sin and death. This was the law of sin and death. LSD. When I was delivered from that, shook them things off, and accepted Yahshua Messiah, then I'm complete in Yahshua Messiah. I don't need no things back here. So now I see the Messiah come in. He fulfilled this thing, moved it out of the way. Now on this side, I stand now in Yahshua Messiah. There's no other name whereby man can be saved but in Yahshua. Yahweh, who has, Yahweh, see, so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. That's over in John 3 and 16. See, he loved the world so much. He came on in and died, the outcast dog. See, and then Yahweh took him, lifted him on up, and gave him a name above every name. That at the name of Yahshua, every knee going to have to bow down and say praises unto Yahshua. And then after you said that, if you didn't believe him, you still got to go on to the lake. Anyhow, see, Yahweh has set it up that way. Now, what I'm trying to get you to see, now Dr. Kinley labored with us over and over again, trying to get us to see how this man came in, fulfilled the law and the prophecy, and moved it out of the way that we might have faith in Yahshua Messiah. That was what he come, and that's what he did. He accomplished that for us. And all we got to do on this side of the cross is to accept the blood of Yahshua Messiah. See what he come to do. Understand what he did for us. He came in and moved all this natural out of the way that we might just have, see, a chance for eternal life. Eternal life is in Yahshua Messiah. No other name. Now, I want to thank you for the time you give me to speak. But I wanted to say something about this here. And look, folks, I have the tapes to back up what I said. And somebody say, I don't want to be bothered with tape. And look, Dr. Kennedy on tapes, he said, listen, speak up loud. This is being recorded for later use. This is late times now. I'm using them. So I'm going back and listen to what they said. See, a lot of things are being said. I want to know what the truth of it is. And I'm willing to die for the things I've come to understand and know. See? And nobody's going to, look. I'm confident in the things that Dr. Kennedy taught me. I'm willing to talk to anybody about them. And I would like, if somebody has a disagreement with what I have to say, come and talk to me. Don't go talk to somebody else what he said, and he said, if you don't understand what I said, come talk to me. I think that's fair. See, I was taught that by the founder. See, that was the way he taught things. He just said, go and talk to somebody else about it. Say, you come talk to that person that you have a problem with. And look, Dr. Kennedy, after he explained something to us for the first time, see, Dr. Harris, he'll know. He put one of us got to get up here and tell it back to him to see if we got it right. He did that with all of us. See? And if we didn't get it right, he got back up and went back in it again. See? And then he put you back up again. That was the way he checked us out. See? And look, I got the tapes of him doing that with us. I got the tapes. See, I got enough information that's on these tapes to verify what I'm saying. And if anybody wants to, I'll be willing to share it with them. I ask, and I want to again thank the Southern Regional Convention for the invitation and the opportunity to address you this evening. Thank you ever so much.